All around me are familiar faces, worn out places, worn out faces, bright and early for their daily races, going nowhere, and their tears are filling up their glasses. No expression, no expression. Mad world, mad world.
Bossy, pushy, selfish, show off, all descriptions of women in that ad by Pantene, and it shows women described negatively for the very same things that men are often praised for. So why is this ad generating so much buzz and so much praise? Well, here to talk about this and the issue of double standards is Kathryn Winstead, marketing professor at Pace University. Kathy, thank you very much for joining us. And it already got more than 5 million views on Facebook out of this. Sheryl Sandberg, of course, of Facebook fame, Push In or Lean In rather, says this is one of the best spots she's ever seen. It hits a lot of chords that a lot of women can relate to, can't they?
Yes, I think they definitely connect with the target audience here, and that's your objective in an ad. If it gets to the audience that you want, if it appeals to them, if it connects with them, then you've definitely accomplished something.
There's a lot of folks, maybe it's the guys who say, well, hasn't a lot of progress been made? Isn't it different now than it was, forget about 20 years ago, 10 years ago, even 5 years ago? You look at women as recently as this week of one of the big auto companies right now, the first CEO. Is the glass ceiling been shattered or just a little cracked?
A little cracked is a great description. I think we're not quite there yet. And remember, this ad's only airing in the Philippines, so perhaps not even as much there as in this country. But it's definitely something all women in corporate America can relate to.
And we see the wage disparities, and we see all the other things that lead into it. And for women in professional circles, I've heard already today a lot of people say, I went through that exact thing. And you even have some anecdotal things where a guy is a team leader, but a woman is too much of a pushy or a self-promoter if she does the same thing, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. And it seems that when you work a lot of times with men and women on a committee or on a professional staff, the men feel for whatever reason they should be telling the women what to do. Sometimes even if the woman is more senior. So you do find that regularly, and you do get told, I've been called a number of things, shameless self-promoter and other such things for doing the same kinds of things that you would expect a man to do to get ahead in business. So,
did you guys ever hear this study? I want to get this right. It was like a Harvard case study, the Heidi Roiken case. No. I hadn't heard this before. No. I'm going to describe it. If I get it wrong, correct me.
Okay.
Basically, they take this person, and there's a profile of the person, and they change the name Heidi to Howard. And the reaction of the same candidate with the same personality traits, how they're described, it's night and day. And some of the students said they liked Howard. They'd hire him. Heidi, exact same resume, was selfish, and they didn't like her. They said Heidi sacrificing time with her family, while Howard is a family man. Yeah. Exact same things here. So it's not just in the imagination. If a woman works really hard at the office, she's not taking care of the kids. If a guy does it, he's dedicated and down the line, right? Exactly.
And they found that the aggressiveness, assertiveness in a woman is negatively associated with warmth. We just assume that an assertive woman who's getting ahead in the corporate structure is not a warm person. She's a cold fish, whatever. Whereas the guy is just becomes charismatic, is positively associated with warmth, or decided, well, since he gets along with people so well, this is a warm person. So you find opposites there, and they found that when they studied this case too. They gave it to two randomly selected groups of students and asked them about their opinions, and it was really quite astonishing. So maybe we're not quite there yet.
If these trends are changing, if we've seen a reduction in how, for example, in those test numbers, or just a sense that things are starting to balance out a little bit more?
I don't know. I really ought to do this case in my class and try to find out, but I think it is. I think it is changing. I think there's definitely positive momentum, but I think that most women today will still relate.
You know, it's funny. When before this meeting, we were thinking, oh, really, I would have thought we're farther. I mean, think about it. most people say the odds-on favorite to be the next president of the United States, probably, all things equal, probably be a woman, right? So, but imagine, I was just thinking, when the Obamas went to Hawaii for vacation, and the president was shot in just a bathing suit. And there was more questions about how did the camera get access. Do you imagine if Hillary Clinton was shot in a bathing suit?
Well, there was that
standards
uproar.
and all the else
Oh,
would
yeah.
apply.
There
It would
was
be a
that
different
uproar.
story, wouldn't it?
Remember the shot when she was with Bill Clinton on the beach, and there was a huge uproar about Hillary
That's
being
right.
in that bathing suit?
That's right. If you think about, we talk about when they're at these positions, how they're judged for certain actions, but even to get to that position, if a young guy has assumed a position of authority here, he got there because charming, go-getter, and whatever else. What's the innuendos that follow a young woman who got up the corporate ladder very
did she
quickly?
sleep
How did
with,
she
is
get
what they
there,
say.
right?
I didn't want to be the one to
Who
say
did she
it.
sleep with?
I'm glad you said it.
So
It is, that's what they
baseless
say.
90-something% of the time, I'm
Yep.
sure, completely without it, but that's the first assumption
First thing they
some
say.
people
Who's
make
she
here.
sleeping with? I've heard it from my husband. I've heard it from other people. You know, how did this? What are they related to, or who are they sleeping with, or what's going on? As opposed to clearly they had the skills and talents.
Very interesting here, but I think we'll agree on this. A very powerful commercial. If they want to get attention 5 million views later and counting, I think
Well,
they
I
did
think
the trick.
that's just it. I think that the companies are designing things a lot more now to go on social media. They're trying to design it to be shared. So this was just developed for the Philippines. And you had said to me at the beginning, this isn't going to sell any shampoo. But if it gets attention, if it gets women feeling like this brand really understands me and relates to me, and you get them on an emotional level, and they pay attention, then they're going to go buy your brand of shampoo.
I was kidding.
No, but it's true. A lot of people would look at
true. I was
a lot of
kidding.
people look at that ad and say this has nothing to do with shampoo. But if you get their brand
Shocking,
name up in
Dominic.
front,
Andrew sticking your foot in the mouth. Huh? All right, Kathy, thank you so much. All right, everybody. When we come back, we will wrap things up. Please stay with us.